My name is Shawn Schwartz, and I am a human rights activist. I was targeted by the Boulder police after the death of Natalie Ballinger. I was targeted before then. Matter of fact, Natalie was my hero. She rescued me from them after I injured my back. And Boulder police did everything they could to harass me for months, average less than an hour of sleep a night. Now, although I primarily focused on homeless rights, I also stand up for black rights, LGBT rights, women's rights. It's because we're all human. I was targeted because, as a human rights activist, not very many people, except for the homeless, paid any attention to what I had to say. The homeless already understand. They're going through many of the same issues. When Natalie was killed, there was over 96,000 people who saw just one of my posts. Before they could destroy my voice, they had to destroy my name. And they did a great job of it. By compartmentalizing their investigations and pretending to investigate, by taking advantage of my disabilities and punishing me for them, which they do statewide, and by harassing, threatening, and intimidating anybody who helped me, they were able to do a pretty decent job of framing me up. I had to do things that were extreme in order to defend myself. Nobody should have to do the things that I did. Nobody should have to break the law to defend themselves. Then again, the police shouldn't be allowed to break the law either. They separated me from anybody who could witness their wrongdoing. They knew on January 1st, when they harassed me at the Starbucks on Pearl Street in Boulder, Colorado, they knew that the Broomfield police had no interest in me, yet they continued for 5 days. For 5 days, while I was being threatened, harassed, intimidated, and assaulted, people had their own ideas about what I should do. The Boulder police weren't going to do anything about the things that were going on. A lot of people had their own ideas about what I should do. Go to the homeless shelter. Well, when you've got homeless people that are split down the middle over whether you're guilty or not, they go to war. Homeless people were fighting each other in front of me. But that's not all. The Boulder police, as well as police across the state, falsely reported. And because they compartmentalize, they get to pretend that this wasn't happening. That each individual portion where there was an issue, I was the one in the wrong. Meanwhile, they coordinated with known criminals. Not just known criminals, but a known sexual predator, several of them, matter of fact, to try to frame me up. Many of the people involved in the case, including her family who was in contact with me, and their friends, were taking part in this as well. They coordinated with the police to try to frame me as some sort of terrible excuse for a human being. Because I am autistic, and because I am homeless, and because I am an activist, it was very important for them to do so. They went out of their way not to press criminal charges against these officers. Now, there's an issue now with a black man in Boulder who was recently targeted, not for the color of his skin, because he looked homeless. People are up in arms because of the way the man was treated, because he was in his own house. But the fact is, he wasn't targeted for the color of his skin. The Boulder police thought that he was going to be too broke just based on looking at him. They thought he was going to be too broke to defend himself, and that nobody would care, just like nobody cares when they do this daily to homeless people. They step up on you, they surround you, they harass you, threaten you, and intimidate you. Had this man not had a camera at his back and a man screaming out the door, he would have been slammed into the dirt. And they would have charged him with assault against a police officer. They would have given him the same treatment that they gave me and Betsy Crowell and Mobley or Stephen McMillian and many other homeless people. When they took me to the Boulder County Jail that first time on January 6th, I was overwhelmed. I really was. They didn't want to look at the full story. They were only interested in putting me on an M1 hold, interested in shutting down my voice. Meanwhile, they were impeding a murder investigation. They were preventing me from having the resources that I needed as an autistic person in order to fulfill the obligations the Broomfield Police Department had asked for, as well as the Adams County detectives. However, the Adams County detectives were able to tell my parents, or my mother in specific, within just a few days of Natalie disappearing, that I wasn't the one that killed her. Meanwhile, they didn't make a statement about that, not until Joseph Michael Lopez was caught. That was on February 8th. Between when they realized that I didn't kill her and when they caught Joseph Michael Lopez, there was a great amount of things that I had to deal with because I didn't have anyone in my corner. Lots of people were crying, but the police kept on separating me from them. Meanwhile, I was punished for doing the things that I was asked to by these officers. Now, I don't have Black Lives Matter at my back. I don't have a man with a camera at my back. I have to do this myself. I'm disabled. I lost my disability because of this. I had to deal with public pretenders across the state of Colorado who do not do their job. You are homeless. They railroad you. That is their only interest. They dropped the charges with the Boulder Police Department because they had a better frame-up job in another county. The county I was transferred to prevent me from making a report against the Boulder Police Department, as well as the assaults against me that kept on happening repeatedly. This is not acceptable. Now, as far as many of the people who offered to help, they didn't bother to find out what was going on. They kept on repeating the same thing: go to the homeless shelter, go to the homeless shelter. They kept on repeating, go to the library, go to the library, go to the library. I went to the library. I had people threatening my life in the library. I had people threatening my life on the internet. All of the police, as well as the prosecutors, took part in ignoring it. They knew that they would get away with it because I was homeless. However, it should be noted that I ended up homeless because of Natalie's death. They refused to take any statements from witnesses. They refused to provide me adequate facilities for my disability. They kept on separating me from anybody who could be a witness. And the police across the state continued to take part in this. If you really care about human lives, if you care about the police state and the state of affairs, you need to pay attention to why this is happening. And I'm doing my best to try to not just get my voice out, but also get my evidence out. The problem is, because of the way I was painted and because of the volunteers and the police and how heavily they're involved in trying to shut down my voice, they destroy any piece of evidence they can. They go out of their way to try to prevent me from speaking, prevent me from defending myself, and preventing me from having an honest court date. They held multiple court dates without me present. Now, the assault against me in Clearview, that was way back in January of last year. It continued to set the case further down the road. Knowing that I was being continually threatened, harassed, and intimidated, and assaulted over things that I did not do. It's frantic. I had to break the law in order to defend myself from these predators. Meanwhile, the police to this day refuse to take me.